Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich is a book written by Napoleon Hill about wealth, summarizing the 13 steps to acquire wealth. The central idea is that all achievements and wealth gained through hard work ultimately stem from an idea. This book is the author's most representative and popular success classic, serving as a lighthouse and milestone for countless individuals on their journeys. It has profoundly influenced readers for nearly 70 years. The secrets contained in the book have been tested over time by thousands of people, and those who understand and apply them can achieve success with minimal effort. If you are ready to accept this information and put it into practice, you can successfully create more wealth and transform your life. Now, let's explore the main viewpoints and content of this book together. Think and Grow Rich is divided into 16 chapters. In the first part, we'll explore the crucial role of thoughts and beliefs in creating wealth, while the second part delves into how to apply these thoughts and beliefs to practical actions for wealth creation. Let's start with the main points of the first part. The key idea is that thoughts are things. Indeed, when thoughts are mixed with a definite purpose, persistent effort, and a burning desire, they become powerful substances that can transform into wealth or other tangible objects. However, most people encounter temporary setbacks, and even failures, on their path to success. Faced with setbacks, the most common and reasonable reaction for most people is to give up. Here, the author shares a story. During the gold rush, Darby's uncle had a gold-digging dream and went to the American West to prospect for gold, hoping to get rich through hard work. He marked off the mining area and started digging with a pick and shovel. The work was extremely hard, but his desire for gold was unwavering. After 3 weeks of hard work, he finally got a return. He discovered glittering gold ore. However, he needed machinery to transport the ore to the surface. He discreetly hid the ore, returned to his home in Williamsburg, Maryland, and shared this major discovery with relatives and neighbors. Everyone pooled their money, bought the necessary machinery, and shipped it by sea. Then, the uncle and Darby returned to mine the ore. The first load of ore was dug out, shipped by boat to a smelter, and the refined gold indicated that they owned the richest gold mine in Colorado. They transported several loads of ore, covering the shipping costs. The subsequent earnings were pure profit. However, an unexpected event occurred. The vein of the gold mine disappeared. They had reached the bottom layer of the gold vein, and there was no more gold below. Despite digging down and desperately trying to rediscover the lost vein, their efforts were in vain. In the end, they decided to give up. They sold the machinery to a junk dealer for a few $100s and took the train back home. The junk dealer, being astute, brought in a mining engineer to inspect the mine and did some calculations. The engineer believed that the mining operation had failed because the owners were unaware of the existence of the fault line. His calculations showed that by simply going down 3 feet from where Darby and his uncle had stopped mining, they would discover a new vein of gold. And indeed, they extracted gold from this exact location. From this story, we can understand one thing: the most common reason for failure is the tendency to give up when faced with temporary setbacks. Those who truly succeed often take a significant step forward in moments shrouded by failure. Success only comes to those with a mindset geared toward success. Having a mindset for success means having a desire to get rich, knowing exactly what you want. We must use a fervent desire for wealth to magnetize our minds. We must possess money consciousness until the desire for money drives us to design clear plans for obtaining it. So, how can the desire for wealth be converted into an equivalent economic return? The author shares 6 steps. Clearly determine the exact amount of money you desire in your mind. Decide how much you are willing to give in exchange for the money you desire. Set a definite time limit for acquiring the money you desire. Develop a clear plan for achieving your desire, and immediately put this plan into action, regardless of whether you feel prepared. Write a clear and concise statement for the amount of money you intend to acquire, indicating a specific time frame for its achievement, and describe in detail your plan for accumulating this money. Read the written statement aloud twice a day, just before going to bed and upon waking up. While reading, visualize, feel, and believe that you already possess the money. For those eager to accumulate wealth, remember that the true leaders of this world are always those who are adept at seizing and effectively utilizing the intangible forces inherent in future opportunities. They transform these forces, which can be considered as thought impulses, into skyscrapers, cities, factories, airplanes, cars, improved healthcare conditions, and various facilities that make life better. If you are not a dreamer, if you cannot see these beautiful things in your mind, cannot envision immense wealth, then you will never see them in your bank account. Our only limitations are the limits we set in our minds. Of course, those who have already achieved success often started from a poor beginning and went through many heartbreaking struggles before reaching the other side of success. The turning points in the lives of successful individuals often come from some critical moments, and it is through these moments that they find another self. Remember to spend some time alone every day, free from external disturbances. Allow yourself to relax and feel relieved. Close your eyes and focus on your desires and goals. Among all positive emotions, belief, love, and sex are the three most powerful forces. Cultivate your beliefs. When these three emotions merge or mix, they can effectively open a direct channel between human limited thinking and the infinite wisdom of the universe. Belief is a mental state, and through the principle of self-suggestion, we can stimulate or establish beliefs by repeatedly confirming or giving repeated instructions to subconscious thinking. If a person repeatedly repeats a certain belief to themselves, whether it is true or not, they will eventually believe what they say. This self-suggestion of belief can help people overcome many shortcomings, turning cowardice into courage and turning inferiority into self-confidence. Some people sink into failure, poverty, misery, and frustration throughout their lives because they use the principle of self-suggestion negatively. To summarize the content of the first major point, if we do not acknowledge limitations and positively use self-suggestion, then the potential of the human brain is limitless. Whether poor or rich, it is the product of thought. The initial manifestation of wealth is ideas. Next, let's take a look at the main points of the second part, how to apply these thoughts and beliefs to practical actions to create wealth. Here, 3 important factors and 4 bad habits to overcome are mainly analyzed. The first factor is knowledge. Before turning desires into the equivalent of money, you need to acquire relevant professional knowledge to be able to exchange that knowledge for wealth. Knowledge is a latent power. Once organized into a clear action plan and directed towards a specific goal, knowledge becomes a force that helps people create wealth. Successful individuals in various fields never give up acquiring professional knowledge related to their main aspirations, careers, or professions throughout their lives. Unsuccessful people often mistakenly believe that once they finish their education, the phase of acquiring knowledge also comes to an end. The consequence of this is that, regardless of the job they undertake, they are destined to lead a fruitless life. The process of success is a continuous pursuit of new knowledge. The second factor is imagination. The power of imagination is formidable. Having knowledge is not enough. We also need the help of imagination to transform intangible thought concepts and desires into tangible money reality. Imagination is like a factory, and the only limitation is the limitation on the development and use of imagination. So far, there is still great untapped potential in our use of our own imaginative abilities. Most people currently use it in a very basic way. The third factor is careful planning. In addition to knowledge and imagination, a well-thought-out plan is indispensable on the road to wealth. Without practical and effective plans, even the most intelligent people cannot successfully become wealthy, and the same goes for any other endeavor. Sometimes your plans may fail, and everyone has to go through failures. Temporary failure only represents one thing: there are flaws in your plan. When it happens, identify the flaws and continuously optimize and perfect your plan. Most people remain poor throughout their lives because they lack a perfect wealth-building plan and the courage and strategy to deal with failure. The book then points out that to build wealth, you must also overcome 4 bad habits. 1. The habit of procrastination. 2. Lack of sufficient perseverance. 3. Negative thinking. 4. Making excuses. Procrastination, the opposite of determination, is the common enemy that everyone must overcome. Those who have not achieved their expected financial goals often easily succumb to the opinions of others. They allow people around them to replace their own thinking with idle talk. Opinions are the cheapest commodity on earth. Everyone has a lot of opinions ready to be imposed on someone willing to accept them. If you allow yourself to be influenced by opinions in decision-making, hesitate, procrastinate, then nothing will be successful, including building wealth. Similarly, lacking endurance, being prone to giving up in the face of difficulties, and lacking sufficient perseverance will also hinder you from achieving your goals. Subconscious thinking is the medium through which limited thinking communicates with the infinite wisdom. Whether this thinking is positive or negative will directly affect the results. Positive and negative thoughts cannot simultaneously occupy the brain, and there must be a dominant type of emotion. You have the responsibility to ensure that positive emotions dominate your mind. Finally, stop making excuses for yourself. Making excuses is a deeply ingrained habit. Moreover, we always find evidence seemingly positive to support the excuses we make for ourselves, making this habit even more difficult to break. Plato said, "The first and greatest victory is to conquer self." Among all things, being conquered by oneself is the most shameful and the worst. To sum up, to transform what is imagined into actual money, we need not only knowledge, imagination, and careful planning but also resilience, determination to overcome our weaknesses, and the avoidance of procrastination, negative thinking, and making excuses. Only in this way is it more likely to achieve the goal of becoming wealthy. It can be said that thoughts are the starting point of all wealth, and thoughts are the product of imagination. Only when you control your thoughts and fully implement them can the journey to wealth truly begin. Congratulations on finishing another book. Keep it up.